Hello and welcome back to Lo-Fi Music Theory. It ain't fancy, just effective. This is Lesson 10, the other triads. Okay, in the last lesson we talked about how to build major and minor triads, and I focus exclusively on those two because if you just understand how to build those two kinds of chords, it will carry you through 90, maybe 95% of all music that you probably want to play. I'll say with confidence that pretty much everything you hear on the radio these days consists entirely of major and minor chords, and it's been that way for a long time. Most music is just major and minor. However, if you listen to more advanced and adventurous styles, classical, jazz, blues, you will hear other kinds of chords. So let's talk about those. The other three triads we want to go over are sus4, augmented, and diminished. Here we go. Okay, first chord, the sus4 chord or sus chord. Now, we're going to do all examples on a C chord. I've written it in the bass clef. I'm going to be playing it in the treble clef range because that's the easiest way to do everything. So here we go. I've got the notes C and G written. That's my root and my fifth. Now, as we've already covered, the third should be an E, right? Well, it's called a sus chord. Sus is short for suspended, and what it means is that the third of the chord is suspended to the fourth. So instead of an E, the E is suspended up to an F. And we have C, F, and G. So instead of this, let's come down and play it. Instead of this, C, E, G, the E is suspended to the F. We have C, F, G. Let me change my fingering here so you can see that a little better. Okay, so there we go, C, F, G. And this will almost always resolve back to the regular chord. So you'll hear this. And this is not uncommon. Probably off the top of my head, famous example would be Pinball Wizard by The Who. So we have the fourth resolves to the third. Now, when you see it written out, it's a suspended fourth chord, but they don't usually say fourth. That's understood, and it's a lot to say suspended. Usually they'll just say sus. Okay, so a sus chord, that is short for suspended, which is short for suspended fourth. Now, next chord, let's do augmented. We'll write the C again, come over here, write it. Okay, we got our C, we're going to do an E, we're going to do a G. Okay, we got a C chord. We'll write it again here. This is C. Okay, so right now it's C major. Let's come down and play it. Okay. Now this is going to become augmented. All right. This is called augmented, which is spelled like this. Augmented. Pardon my sloppy writing, but augmented. Now, what you do is this: you raise the fifth a half step. Excuse me, that's a wrong note. You're sharpening your fifth. You're augmenting your fifth, okay? So the G becomes G sharp. Let's write that in. There we go. C, E, G sharp. And what you can think of is this. C to E is a major third, and the E to the G sharp is also a major third. Okay, let's write them like that. Major third, major third. So it's two major thirds stacked on top of each other, and it gives you a very unique sound. Okay, so C augmented. All right, an augmented chord. Once again, not usually written out. Usually you'll just see aug. That means augmented. Now, next one. Let's come over here. Write it all out again. Excuse me. I'm holding the phone with one hand or writing with the other. Remember, this is lo-fi. All right, we got a C. We got an E. We've got a G. Okay, but this is going to be diminished. Okay? Diminished. Diminished. All right, there we go. Now, diminished. All right, well, that comes from minor, okay? Now, so C minor would have the E flat. Let's separate these so we see them. Okay, now if I flat the E, it's now C minor, okay? Let's come down and play it, all right? there's major. All right, we do that. It's minor. We remember that from the last lesson. Okay, diminish is like a doubled minor. We lower the fifth. Okay, so both of these triads, augmented and diminished, come from manipulating your fifth. Okay, so here we have C, E flat, G flat. All right, as opposed to regular minor, flatted fifth. Okay, so let's come up here, write that. We have G flat, and you can think of this as two minor thirds stacked on top of each other. There you go, minor third, C to E flat, minor third, E flat to G flat is also a minor third. It's a very unstable sound. Okay, one of my old teachers said, watch a silent film, and if the damsel's laying on the railroad tracks and the train's coming, they're playing diminished chords until the hero shows up. It's that very unstable, unsettling sound. So there you go. Those are suspended, augmented, and diminished chords. Oh, and real quick, once again, the whole word will not be written out. You will see D-I-M. Get it there? D-I-M, that means diminished. Or you could see this, actually. Let's be... In classical writing, you might just see a little circle. Actually, be smaller than that. That looks like a note. Okay, you'll see a little circle. Diminished and augmented, I'm going to use my finger, you will see a plus sign. Okay? That means augmented. So those are two ways to abbreviate these things. Okay, that's the lesson for today. A suspended chord, suspended fourth. Augmented, diminished. Thanks for watching.